All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are tuning in from. I am Ryan McCrary, also known as the Funnel Doctor. Really excited to come to you today with a very important conversation. So do me a favor. When you come in, drop your name, drop your business name down. Definitely want you to share this out. So drop it in your story, put it in someone's DM. We have a really important conversation today. And excited to be here to have a conversation with a really great person, a great entrepreneur, someone doing a lot of amazing work out here. So we're going to have a good conversation today. All right, I see some folks already joining. So yeah, do me a favor, drop your name down, your business name down. If you can hear me and see me, let me know. We're going to get this party started. And like I said, share this out, put it in someone's DM, tag any entrepreneurs that need to be here, especially my e-com folks. If you sell products, if you have a Shopify store, if you're selling things online, we're definitely going to talk about how you can increase your revenue for your products, get it in front of more people, and of course, drive more traffic to your store. So definitely want to do that as well. All right, so let me see. All right, she's about to come on so we can share this. All right, so for those of you not familiar with me, I'm Ryan McCrary, also known as the Funnel Doctor. We have a digital marketing agency, so we help entrepreneurs grow and scale online through funnels and paid traffic. So let me let our special guests get on so we can get this party started. Sure, there we go.
Hey
Hey,
Ryan.
how you doing?
Yeah, good thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. Everything's good. Just staying busy, trying to get money like you.
You're hilarious. I'm glad things are going well. I saw your Insta story. It looked really good.
Oh yeah, thank you. You talking about the video I posted?
Yeah. Oh, is that on your page as well?
It is, yeah.
Oh, wicked. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Well, thank you so much for jumping on. I really appreciate it. I know you have a lot going on. You're very busy, taking over the world. So I really just appreciate you just coming on and having this conversation with me.
You are welcome. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, great. All right, so I always like to start with introductions. If someone is not familiar with you, if not familiar with what you do, tell them who you are, what you do, where you from. Of course, shout out to London, the UK. One of my favorite places now. So definitely, let me know, that. I don't know, you still on? Oh, I think we might have lost her. Let's see. Yeah,
Sorry, I don't know what happened there, but I'm back.
going on.
Um, but yeah, you were saying do an intro
Yeah,
and
just do an intro. I don't know what's going on with y'all Wi-Fi in London. Like I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm playing. I'm playing.
no,
I'm
you
playing.
were talking to me. I was trying to move the camera and it just wasn't happening.
No, it's all right. So yeah, for those of you, those people if they're behind on the rock somewhere or whatever, let them know who you are, what you do, of course, where you from. Shout out to London, one of my favorite places now. You put me on to a lot of spots that I wasn't privy to, and I want to talk about that in a minute too. But who you are, where you from, and what you do.
Sure. My name's Jamelia Donaldson. I'm the founder of Tress, which is a monthly product discovery box for curly hair products. So essentially, we help curly consumers find the right products that work for them. And equally, we work with over 250 beauty brands, helping them get their products in front of consumers with curly hair. So, yeah, we've been around in November, it'll be 10 years. So it's a pretty iconic year for us this year. and we're excited to continue to make strides and disrupt the curly hair scene in the UK, in Europe, and beyond.
Yeah, I love that. And I definitely am more curious about, 'cause I know a little bit, but I don't know a lot of like your journey to get there. Not just, of course, specifically to natural hair, like the amazing stuff you do and like the problem that you saw and how you fill that void with what you do as a business,
Yeah.
but also more so, like your entrepreneurship journey as well. Like, did you always want to be an entrepreneur? Did it come later on? Did you always want to? Did you, like me, work in corporate and said, I hate it, I want to go start my own business? Like, what was that transition like?
Yeah, it was quite a journey. Growing up, I actually wanted to be a lawyer. So I didn't actually want to be an entrepreneur. Although when I look back, I did have lots of traits of being an entrepreneur from really young. So one example that is actually hilarious is me and my best friend used to make up dances, and then we used to like create tickets out of paper, and then we'd go outside and try to charge people to watch us
For
perform
real?
like so I guess I was always thinking about like different ways to make money, but I've always been really, really creative. So initially I wanted to be a hairdresser, and my mum's an educator. She used to be a teacher and now she's a university lecturer. And she basically said, like, it's great that you love hair, it's great that you love beauty, but you can't be a hairdresser, because basically she wanted me to do something more academic. And so she essentially said, look, you're really good at arguing with your brother. Why don't you try being a lawyer? And I was like, do you know what? I actually am good at arguing with my brother. So let me try law. And I think it was me watching films and like getting this idea of like the lifestyle that I wanted that made me feel like, yep, I'm going to be a corporate black woman. And so everything was going to plan. I didn't do in the UK what we have as A levels. I decided to do the international baccalaureate. And it basically means that I could come to the US, I could go anywhere in the world, and my qualifications would be recognized. Whereas if I'd done A levels, I would get to the US and you guys would be like, what the hell's that? We don't accept that.
Right.
Always my plan to travel a lot and have a very international career. So I done the international baccalaureate. I missed the grade that I needed to get in French in order to get onto the law degree. And so I felt really stuck, and I was looking through the courses at the university that I wanted to go to, and business and international relations was the course that stood out to me, not because of the business aspect of it, but because of the international relations aspect of it. I wanted to be able to travel. I wanted to be able to have an international career, even if it wasn't going to be in law. So I accepted that course, joined that course. Part of the requirement of that course was that I went abroad and got professional experience in some industry. And I knew where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the States, but first I decided to go to China to get some experience in Beijing, because I thought, do you know what? I've already got quite an interesting CV. I was just trying to think about a way that I could make myself as attractive as possible to employers. So I thought, if I go China, get some marketing experience there, then I go to the States and get some experience there. If I was a recruiter, I'd be pretty impressed, which means that I would be well positioned to get a really strong job. And then when I was in China, I lost my hair products, which, as you can expect as a black woman, there's nowhere worse in the world to be than China. And how did so many of us now entrepreneurs want to get into law? That's crazy. It actually is crazy. The worst place to be in the world as a black woman without hair products is actually China. And so I was trying to find substitutes and I couldn't. I had to end up buying a shoe brush and use that as a bristle brush for my hair. I had to buy a really cheap conditioner and a really cheap gel, both of which didn't work, and use them in my hair, and they effectively didn't do anything. And then when I went to the States, I actually moved to Brooklyn, and it was the complete opposite end of the spectrum. In New York, there was an endless amount of products in all of the major stores, and we just don't have, we didn't, well, we still don't, we didn't have that in the UK. And I also noticed that subscription boxes was a really popular business model in the States, and again, it didn't exist in the UK. So I thought, if no one else is going to do it, I want to do it. And so when I got back to the UK, I was like, brilliant, I'm going to launch my own company. I'm going to launch my own subscription box company. But I quickly realized that I hadn't been earning money for at least a year, because all of my internships were unpaid. And so my first priority was making money. And I thought, what's the best industry to make money? The best industry to make money is finance. So I got an internship in finance. They offered me a graduate position. I accepted the graduate position. I worked there for just under 3 years. And while I was there, I started working on Treasure Tress, and then I left coming up to my 3rd year to run Treasure Tress full time, and then have been working on the business since then. So really long story short, I started off corporate and then found my way to entrepreneurship. But it wasn't, I hated corporate. I didn't hate corporate. I actually really liked the company that I worked for, but I just couldn't ignore the pull and the draw of entrepreneurship to solve this issue.
Yeah, that's a really, really interesting story. And I didn't know the law, backstory. I definitely didn't know that. I didn't know like your corporate background. I just thought you just, hey, maybe you woke up, hey, it says little girl, I love doing hair. I want to, start a hair brand. I want to be an entrepreneur. Like you said, some of us, just have that bug and it's that pull. And that's just interesting because even my background, listen, I worked in corporate. I did not like corporate. I did at first. Yeah, I did at first, and then I started to hate it. You know what I mean? Like I hated going to my job every day. I hated being in that environment. I didn't like the people that I work with. Like it was just so crazy. It was really, really stressful and frustrated. And what's so interesting now, the person that fired me, who was my supervisor, he actually was younger than me, but the person that fired me as my supervisor, now he's an entrepreneur too. I saw him at an event recently. Now we like really, really good friends. Which is
No
so
way.
right, which is so interesting because if you see this, Mark, I'll let you know. I didn't like you at the time, for real. We did not have a good relationship. I told him I did not want to be in corporate, racial things and stuff going on. I was trying to let him know, and then they fired me. He was part of that, and then I randomly saw him in Atlanta an event. Like, oh, I left the company too. Yeah, they did me dirty too. I was like, I told you that 5 years ago. Like, what are you talking about? So now we friends, which is a funny story.
What industry were you in corporate?
Finance.
Oh,
Yep.
really? Which company?
Vanguard.
Oh, sorry, I was at BlackRock.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know BlackRock. We used to talk to that company all the time. So yeah, I worked for Vanguard, one of the biggest, probably the biggest mutual fund company that exists. So yeah, it was a really, really good, interesting, dynamic. So my next question, you made me think of something. What was the transition like to becoming a full-time entrepreneur? Because I know with me, like I was really, really naive when I became an entrepreneur. So when I got fired from my job, I never went to go look for another job. Like I had a job opportunities, I had other things I could do. I was determined to actually start my own business and be an entrepreneur, but I was very, very naive. I was like, okay, I'm being an entrepreneur. I'm gonna be my own boss. I don't want to work for anybody, anything like that. But really trying to learn how to really start and run a business and make money. And I mean, I don't have my corporate job anymore. So actually, one of the hardest things for me was like consistent, predictable revenue. And being able to turn into like a real business, not like I make money here and there, some type of side business, but to actually being like a real legitimate business that makes
Yeah.
money, that can
Yeah.
hire people, that can sustain myself and my, me and my life and my family and stuff like that. It was a really, really big learning curve for me and trying to like, because I was so used to just having a job, being in corporate and stuff like that. But becoming an entrepreneur and like when you eat what you kill, everything's on you. It was a really, really big transition for me and trying to figure that out. And eventually I got there. But in the early stages, like it was a lot. I didn't have any money. I was trying to figure things out. I just had to keep going. But what was that transition like for you?
Yeah, I think it was slightly different because since its conception, Treasure Trust has been a subscription business, which means that there's always been predictable revenue
That's
every
good.
single
Yeah.
month. But equally, it was still a massive shock from receiving a massive paycheck every month to receiving no paycheck. I remember the first month coming around and me realizing like, oh my God, what have I done? And so the main thing for me was at the time the overheads weren't massive. I was still at home at my mum's house. I didn't have an office yet, didn't have warehouse space yet. I was literally operating everything from my parents' house. So that made it that much easier. And I didn't have any employees initially, obviously. I started recruiting unpaid interns, and then I started paying interns, and then I hired my first full-time person. So it was like a gradual process. And I think the business model allowed me the time and the grace to figure things out. And anything that I couldn't pay someone else to do, I just had to do it. So I obviously I know how to do everything. Like I know how to do customer service, I know how to build a box, I know how to print a box, I know how to order like I know every single part of the chain. And I think that that's a really important skill to have anyway as an entrepreneur, because you don't want to hire someone and then they try to outsmart you on parts of your business because they think that you don't know. Whereas when you actually do have the knowledge of how to do every role, it is a huge massive advantage. Obviously we want our businesses to grow to the point where we don't know how to do every single row, because that's the real flex. But at the beginning, I was doing everything because I couldn't pay anyone to do everything. But equally, having a subscription base, a subscription box as a subscription as the base of the business, that was really, really helpful in helping stability.
That was a huge nugget. Did y'all catch that? I don't know if everyone caught that. Like, we about to give y'all a business education. And yes, she does teach at London Business School, if you didn't know. I've witnessed it, for real. We can literally teach an MBA class. But did y'all catch that nugget? I want to make sure everyone caught that nugget, because that was a huge nugget. And that was something that I didn't learn in my business. I learned in business. I became an entrepreneur in 2016. So I'm an OG now, almost 10 years in. And my first business was not in marketing. It was not the funnel doctor. We can talk about that later. I didn't learn the importance of MRR, subscription model, whatever, until probably 2020. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all caught that nugget. And that was the first thing she said was, my business model from the beginning was a subscription model. So what is that? That is consistent, predictable revenue. Now, of course, there is churn. Of course, people unsubscribe. But the base of her business and the model of her business is a subscription model. And now that I teach now and speak and stuff like that, I always say the holy grail of business is having some product or service where you have monthly recurring revenue. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely glad that you said that, because that is important for many things. Number one, like your cash flow, you know, your hiring, your payroll, your marketing, your ad budget. People come to me sometimes, well, I don't have money to advertise and market and stuff like that. Well, do you have MRR? You know, what can you kind of forecast, you know, per week, per month, per quarter, you know, where your sales are going to be so you can allocate something for marketing. So that was a huge nugget that I hope everyone caught. My next question is, you know, because you started Treasure Tress, you know, was successful, you saw a huge need in the marketplace. I think that's another nugget and tip that people can take as well, is like finding product market fit. I feel like sometimes we as entrepreneurs, we have so many ideas and stuff we want to do, but it's based on what you think and what you like, but it's not as focused
Yeah.
on what is something that's viable in the marketplace and a huge need. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I think that's one of the, in my opinion, another probably main reason out of the many reasons why you are successful is because you really fill that void. So what was it like? Of course, you started the business, you know, I know it was successful, to actually becoming like dominant player in the industry of, like, in my opinion, being massively successful and hugely successful. Just, you know, because some people can start something, it can be okay, and, you know, you can, you know, make money here and there, maybe get to six figures or whatever. But how do you, you know, actually expand more to like have a warehouse and, you know, work with so many amazing brands and partnerships and sponsorships, and like, what is that transition like to actually, you know, really scale more?
Yeah. I think for us, it's quite unique because the business model is really unique. We have a subscription base, we have the subscription box, but equally, there are so many other revenue streams for the business. A lot of it is marketing, as you'll know quite intimately. So whether that's from activating for brands, whether that's for like publishing trend reports and white papers in collaboration with brands, whether that's influencer marketing, whether that's market research and focus groups, there's lots of different ways that we do things. And I think that that is really important. And I think becoming a dominant player is just very much about being clear about who you're serving and how you assert yourself as the authority in that. So for us, when we launched, no one was, first of all, speaking really boldly about being Black, which sounds crazy to an American, but in the UK, it's a super like conservative society. And race could sometimes be a little bit tricky to speak about. But since conception, Treasure Trust was really explicit about the fact that one, it's Black owned, two, that this is a brand that serves Black women, not exclusively, but prioritizes Black women. And so we were able to launch a lot of different events, a lot of different series that spoke really directly to this group of women who had been otherwise excluded by society. So one of the key event series that we've run is for Black girls who can't braid. And that again was another signal to our community, like, oh wow, like this brand sees us and this brand represents us and we're doing things for them. Shameless plug, we're doing for Black dads who can't braid in the summer, which is going to be great.
Oh, okay. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm a Black dad. I
good.
can't breathe.
You need to spend your visit for that. But I think it's just about really knowing your customer base and speaking directly to them and keeping them front and center. Because I think it's really tempting to go broad. Like everyone wants everyone to be a customer. But when you're able to niche down and really get to know that customer really intimately, then I think that's where you're able to make massive traction and position yourself as a market leader.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Listen, a lot of what you say just literally coincides with all the stuff that I teach and talk about. You know what I mean? When I'm talking to people, either my clients or speaking and stuff like that. And what you just shared sparked something in my brain. I hope y'all caught it. Different ways to generate traffic. Because I love traffic. I love paid traffic. We spend a lot of money on ads. Facebook be billing me crazy. But what I always tell people is you never want to just have one traffic stream. You know what I mean? Because some people are over relying on social media or influencers or Facebook ads and stuff like that. But what you said is like so many ways to get traffic, you know, whether it's, you know, influencers or brands, or I know you do ads and I know, you know, you speak and do like a whole bunch of other stuff and pop-up shops and stuff like that. That was, you know, another nugget that I hope everyone caught is like having multiple ways to generate traffic for your business. And I feel like a lot of businesses, number one, don't have enough traffic. How many of you hear that entrepreneurs feel like you're the best kept secret? You have a great product, a great service, but not enough people actually know about it. Y'all are the best kept secret. And then sometimes people only have one traffic stream, whether it's referrals or you may do social media ads. But I feel like everyone should have multiple ways to generate traffic and visibility. Because if you only have one or two, like you can be really, really vulnerable. Next question, because I know we ain't got a lot of time today. We run up on time. I would love for you to talk about our experience on working together and what that was like, the importance just in general, regardless of people working with us or not, the importance of marketing, funnels, email automation, campaigns, ads, and stuff like that for everything that I talk about every single day, the importance of that, and if you want to share your experience working with us as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I feel like if I start talking about funnels, I'd be a little bit out of place because you're the funnel doctor. So I'll leave it to you. But what I will say is that I was really, really impressed with the onboarding of the funnel doctor. It was so clear that you guys really care about brand tone, brand voice, who our customer is, and the work that we do together being authentic to us as a brand, but also being received authentically as a consumer. So that was really impressive and really important. And I think it was just flawless. Like the onboarding was clean, the graphic design, the templates that were created, the flows that were created were really, really valuable. Definitely not the last time we'll be working together because there's a million things I still have to ask you. But I think it was just really refreshing to not have to think about email marketing myself so critically and being able to hand that over to a source, but not only just a source, but a trusted source, because it is really sensitive work. It's really important work.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it, as you know, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, there's a million tabs open in your brain. So to be able to close one of them and give it to someone else is always a massive. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you said that because that is honestly like what we pride ourselves on as a company. Like if we take you on as a client, like we are serious about your business and delivering results. So like me and my team, we do extensive research, like you said, on your brand, your tone. If we're doing some copy to start and messaging, we want to make sure it's on point. We want to make sure it's attracting the right people. We want to make sure it's in your voice because that's really, really important. Because again, marketing is not just about attracting the right people, but repelling the wrong ones. You know what I mean? And we don't want to repel the right ones if we're not on brand and on tone and stuff like that from a copy and messaging perspective. And then, of course, from a design perspective, like you have an amazing brand and we take that really, really serious. So it has to look apart. It aesthetically has to be pleasing. It has to, images and representation is really, really important. So we really did extensive research and I literally told my team, we ain't doing nothing that's not top tier, seriously, because she has an amazing brand and her working with us, trusting us to represent her brand from a marketing perspective is really, really important. So I definitely, make sure we were on point with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, definitely. And then lastly, of course, if anybody wants to, get any of your products, get any of your stuff, I know you have a lot of stuff coming up. And like you said, things in the UK, we got to get you more to the States. We got to get you all over other places in the world. But what other events you have coming up? What are things people can check out? Of course, if they want to get a box, if they want to get one of the products, like all the stuff that you offer, how can they do that and where should they go?
Sure. So head over to treasuretress.co.uk. That's treasure, TRESS.co.uk.
Mhm.
I created your discount code, Ryan,
Oh,
which I never do.
let's go.
It's international free shipping. So international shipping is pricey from the UK to the US.
I
But with
imagine.
your discount code, they get free shipping. So it's funnel DR, funnel Dr. funnel DR, that will get them free shipping. So tell a friend to tell a friend. So you can do that on our website. Follow us on social media at Treasure Tress. Follow me at Jamelia is Obsessed. And those are the main places to find us. As far as activations this year, we have events all of the time. So if you're in the UK, it's already sold out. So sorry, keep your eye out for the next one. But there's an event on the 28th of March. And then we've got pretty much back-to-back events for the rest of the year. And then our 10th anniversary brand birthday is going to be exceptional, mind-blowing, and out of this
When is
world.
it?
So make sure that you keep an
When
eye
is
out for the tickets for that.
it? You didn't tell me that. When is it?
December,
Oh, okay, okay. All right. I'm about to
end of the
say,
year.
you ain't talking about that. We
We
definitely
need
got
to
to pull up to that.
talk about that because we need to set up the
Yeah,
automations
yeah,
for it.
yeah, definitely. We're going to definitely talk about that. And then lastly, of course, I cannot let you go without talking about UK Black Business Week.
Yes.
And that, because a lot of people still don't know about it. So shout out to my guy, Raphael. Big shout out to him. But yeah, so if you can tell people about that, because we got to get more folks from the US over there.
Yeah.
So lastly, if you could just talk about that and what that like and why people from the US or anywhere else outside of UK should come.
For sure. So UK Black Business Show is pretty much the biggest, most impactful, and pretty much the only Black British conference that you need to go to in the UK. It's a week full of talks, panels, networking opportunities. It's exceptional. Raphael always attracts the best of the best as far as speakers, panelists. It's an invaluable room to be in. Also sponsored by the greatest sponsors across all industries. I'm talking fashion, finance, tech, literally everywhere. So if you want to go somewhere and build your business out internationally, build your network internationally, and be really intentional about it, then it's definitely the place to be.
Definitely. I've been there. I can vouch for it. It was a great experience. I was blessed to be able to speak as well. So shout out to Raphael and you plugging me for that. Definitely. But yeah, if anybody needs anything else, let us know. Go at the top, drop down, and hit the drop down. Make sure you follow both of us. If you're not following me, follow me. If you're not following Jamelia, follow her. If you're not following the Treasure Tress brand, you can follow them as well. She said you can get free, was it free international shipping? If you use the code funnel DR, like funnel doctor funnel DR, anything else you need from her, make sure you hit her up. If you are a corporate or a corporate sponsor, she is looking for, more people to partner with and collaborate with. So definitely hit her up. But other than that, Jamelia, I really, really appreciate you jumping on. I know you're very busy, so thank you so much for making time and keep doing all the amazing work that you're doing out here.
Amazing. Thanks, Ryan. I'll speak to you soon.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.